In the tradition of classical chefs before me, my education was steeped in the rules that governed the French culinary world. To be classically trained, it's kind of like being part of a guild. I've been fortunate enough to hone my craft with some of the literal giants of the food world. People like Paul Bocuse, Freddy Girardet, my mentor Jan Peterson, and of course my father. It almost feels like a bygone era. The focus that was placed on the details, the pomp and circumstance. Neatly pressed jackets and polished shoes was as important as what went into the dish. For me, the old school way still holds a lot of charm. Sometimes it feels like there's been a changing of the guards. But all it takes to restore my faith is a good meal.
Saúde.
As a chef, I need to stay curious in order to evolve. For me, that means looking beyond a great meal to learn more about who made it and what inspires them to cook. Every great city has great food. I'm going on a journey around the world right here in St. Louis to find good food and experience other cultures. I'm on a quest to find passionate chefs who cooks from the heart. Because food is love.
It's gonna be delicious.
Food is love. Love your food.
I wanted to do more than open a restaurant. I wanted to create a neighborhood.
This is Ben Poremba, visionary chef, serial restaurateur, and all-around Renaissance man. On this corner alone, he has his hand in a half a dozen different businesses, including his restaurants, Elia, Olio, and Nixta, each offering a unique dining experience to attract new blood to the neighborhood. And it's working. An immigrant originally from Israel, Ben has a strong tendency towards the old ways, tempered with a progressive ambition that is used to almost single-handedly bring a forgotten slice of St. Louis back to life.
Yeah. We opened 3 restaurants in 3 months.
At the center of it all, you guessed it, food.
My egg salad.
After showing me around his retail store, AO & Co., we grab a cup of coffee and a quick bite of breakfast before we start the day.
For this place, I want a nice little old lady, like my mother or like my grandmother, to be able to sit and have a coffee and eat a sandwich that's not going to be abrasive to them. But good ingredients, good bread, of course, simple sauce. I like on Saturdays to go to the farmer's market. It's down the street from me.
Okay.
So Tower Grove's farmer's market, to me, is one of the most important things that happen in St. Louis. That place has directly to do with the kind of quality of restaurant that we see in St. Louis. All the relationships that I have with farmers, with artisans, date back to that place.
Going to a good farmer's market and meeting that is just, for me, is like going to church.
You can buy a product that someone grew with love, and it's all here. And you can tell somebody, I bought this tomato from so-and-so this morning from the... And there's just something very, very special about that. I mean, it sounds quirky. It sounds quirky, but there's something very, very special about that.
Well,
I think so.
let's go to church.
Let's do. We are driving on Tower Grove. To our right is the Botanical Gardens. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm in this corner, and that's one of the things that kept me here in this city. This park and these botanical gardens and this market, that makes St. Louis a community. If I get to see something I like and I bring it to the restaurant, I want to use it tonight, my cooks are all going to be, we've already had a plan, throwing a little wrench in their plans. Hi, how are ya?
Pretty good, how are you?
Good, I want this.
You can have them.
All of them.
That's it for the day. Oh.
All right, I'll take all of them. Are these pawpaws? What are these?
Yeah, those are the last of the year.
You know, I've never developed the palate for pawpaws.
The variety here is impressive. The term "a kid in a candy store" isn't enough for how I feel right now. For chefs all over St. Louis, the farmer's market is an amazing resource. Be able to handpick special ingredients like pawpaws, exotic vegetables.
We can buy rabbit.
Or rabbit, did you say? Yes, they have that here too.
Rabbit liver.
And rabbit liver. I love using humble ingredients and elevate them. Oh, this little bitty okra. I love little bitty okra. I like the small ones though. I associate okra with really homey kind of
that's-
dishes.
But that's the interesting thing. You take something very, very expensive and put
Thank
together
you.
with.
Oh, I love that.
That's the idea.
That's the idea. Yeah, I love it.
The farmers market is no doubt a part of what lends a fresh edge to restaurants like Ben's. It's basically farm to table. With lots of fresh ingredients to work with, we're headed back to Elia to formulate a plan for tonight's menu.
Chef, join us.
Thank you.
So he's writing down a million of the things that we have on hand, and we're coming up with a menu. And sometimes things don't end up on the menu, right? We always have more than we need. So we have the cured trout, we have whole sea bream, we have fillets of branzino, we have sous vide short ribs. We have octopus, we have chorizo, we have our chicken thighs, we have chicken liver mousse, we have lamb neck. Cook the chorizo almost like a ragu. Take it off the casing, you know. Skewer the octopus. I want the scallops as a second course.
Okay.
Grilled, not raw. Where are we sticking that sauerkraut?
We originally were planning on doing a braised lamb and sauerkraut dish. We had it with pork belly last week, but we're done with pork belly now.
The sauerkraut's gotta go. Maybe it's its own thing. Maybe it's part of the chicken or the beef. I love that sauerkraut. Yeah. Grilled sauerkraut is probably one of the best things. It combines all my favorite.
See, I would put that with the scallops.
Hey,
You know, that was when I heard that.
we don't have a scallop
Didn't
dish.
have a
Yeah.
fully done.
Butternut squash puree, sauerkraut, grilled sauerkraut,
Yeah.
and smoked scallops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I'm telling you,
that's gonna be good.
that's gonna be incredible. Over the last month and a half, I've been buying whole dorades because I wanted to grill them.
Yeah.
And nobody's buying them. We put a whole fish. We didn't even put it on the menu, for that matter.
We didn't last week,
Yeah.
no.
But it's here,
yeah.
and then what I do at the end of the night, I grill one, I go sit outside, and I eat it. Almost everything, I would say almost all of our proteins undergo some kind of a process before they're actually. We never get just a piece of meat and put it on the grill. It's either cured or aged or sous vide or smoked or something is happening, including fish, by the way. We'll age fish and we'll brine fish and we'll cure fish. It's about concentrating flavor.
There's nothing as cool as getting to help imagine a menu in someone else's restaurant.
Got it.
I think we got it. We're gonna go visit Chef Nino at Nixta real quick.
When you spend a day with Ben Poremba, there's very little time to catch your breath. We're heading across the street to check out the kitchen at Ben's Mexican restaurant, Nixta.
Tell me the concept here.
This is a Mexican restaurant, and we call it Nixta. Nixta is kind of a shortened version of the word nixtamal. Nixtamal is the process of turning corn into masa. This is Dakota. Dakota is our chef at Nixta. He's also one of the cleanest, most organized young chefs. Dakota, are you 25?
Yes.
25 years old. You haven't seen maturity like that in any. I've never seen it. I mean, everything is neat, and his food is like that too. We got the spit. We do, al pastor.
Yeah.
You have some al pastor down below, and you know that this was Lebanese immigrants to Mexico City, brought with them the spit cooking. So here again, the Middle East is in the heart of Mexico. In addition to what I said about Dakota being talented and hardworking and eager and a real good student, I mean, he really studies it, does homework, reads, immerses himself in the cuisine. Every restaurant in America had an octopus dish. Everybody was doing octopus. Food writers from Food and Wine, and for them to say that this was the best in America was a huge honor. We're gonna come back for it tonight,
Okay.
because it really is the best octopus I've ever had. He's improved on it tremendously. It was already the best, and now it's better than best. That's what it's all about, right?
Yes, sir.
My father said, you know what champions do? They start at their best and get better. That's the definition of a champion. This kiddo is getting married Tuesday.
He seems calm.
The most rewarding aspect of this job, and this is going to be controversial, is not the customer. I love my customers. I need my customers.
Yeah.
But there's nothing more rewarding in this job is watching these guys work. When I watch Dakota making this food over here, there's nothing more rewarding than that. Now I'm partial, but I think that's the best al pastor you can have in the country. In the country, you heard me.
Yeah.
Opa. All right.
Great flavor, a lot of depth in the flavors. Wow.
But still, street food.
Dinner service will begin soon, and I'm eager to see how the plates come together here. Methodical, calculated, disciplined. The energy in the kitchen here is palatable, and Ben runs his line like a general going into battle.
I see I'm missing basil oil on it. Guys, I don't like when I have to repeat myself.
Mistakes are not an option. The focus on the entire kitchen is on delivering an experience, and each part of the crew plays a vital role.
I don't know if you noticed that we are working tonight without a dishwasher. You don't see anybody complaining. They're all front of the house, back of the house. They're all jumping on it, helping each other, doing it together. Yeah. That's a team.
It's a well-oiled machine, to say the least. Ben's respect for the ingredients and avant-garde style brings a level of sophistication to his dishes. I worked in kitchens all over the world. This is just the kind of chaos that I like.
But I feel that I fit in here. Like I can walk in on the line and be part of this.
Yeah,
this is very European to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like that. You know, I'm like, my hands are like, I want to do that.
Get in there.
I want to get in there.
Chef, get in there.
Yeah.
It's very zen. It's very
I like that.
calm. I mean, we're not a big restaurant, obviously. We're a tiny restaurant, but there's a lot of plates.
I haven't had the opportunity for this for a while, so this is a great feeling. It brings back memories.
Yeah,
you know.
Throughout the day, I couldn't help taking note about connections, philosophies, and similarities that Ben and I share. But perhaps the most interesting connection is his taste in movies.
I watched Babette's Feast at the age of 8 or 9. I watch it every year.
Ben's favorite movie is a 1987 Academy Award-winning movie called Babette's Feast. In the culinary world, the movie became a cult classic for the intricate dinner it's centered around. I am very proud to be a part of the food behind the film. The movie itself was a catalyst for my move to the United States. But today, I don't meet a lot of people that remembers the movie as intimate as Ben.
I mean, when he told me that he was part of this, my hair stood. I couldn't believe it. That's the reason I fell in love with food to begin with. My mom was a chef, but that's the reason I fell in love with food. I loved it so much. And my opening menu at Elia had Kai
on
sarcophage. But I almost named my daughter Babette. I love that movie so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, the movie is old enough now that a lot of people, you know, are not familiar with it. That's the reason why I'm in America.
I have a VHS copy of it.
And to learn it's always been his favorite movie and what inspired him to cook. Well, that makes our friendship seem like it was inevitable. Sometime the stars align.
Well, the story will go on forever.
Yeah.
You know?
That is the essence of Food is Love. That movie is the essence of Food is Love.
It is.
And what it does to a community.
Just as I'm starting to understand the flow here, Ben switches gears again, and we head back across the street to Nixta to try the octopus dish that Food and Wine magazine called the best in the country. We
are steaming the octopus. It's very, very tender. And then we deep fry it and toss it in this incredible aromatized salt.
Maybe it's the process of steaming the octopus that creates the flavor and texture. But whatever the secret is, it's remarkable.
That's good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
The one thing I liked about the octopus is that you get this big meaty tentacle but over here you get the crispy bits of the end of the octopus, so you get several different textures as you eat it down. I try to now tell my cook, I said, no, you're in control, manipulate it, take it farther, have reverence to it, don't do it injustice, but don't be afraid to pretty it up, don't be afraid to go aggressive, because when you go to a restaurant, you don't want something bland that just, you know, you want something that just stops you. Let's do it.
Back at Alia, and still swallowing my last bite of octopus, Ben has started to make us his favorite fish. Scored, grilled, and simple seasoned, served whole. It's the little details that makes all the difference.
The way I clean the grill great, but also add flavor, is very common in my country. You take half an onion, you dip it in oil, and you prick it with a carving fork, and you rub it on the grate of the grill.
This is right up my alley. Anytime Ben makes this meal, he invites one of his waiters, Joe, to eat with him.
This book, what do you see?
Show us what it is. This is Carretera Profesional, your student ID, basically.
Yes.
From 1975.
Originally from Portugal, Joe represents the old school European waiters
This is the waiter, the first class, 5 years later.
who are skilled not only in tableside service, but in the kitchen as well. Basically training to become a chef first, before becoming a waiter. This kind of skill set is not common anymore.
Professional passport.
Yeah,
Yes,
so what happens is you finish your education and you get this, and it allows you to work crossing
How
borders.
foreign is that concept that you go to school to be a server?
There is no difference between being a server, a pastry chef, or a chef. It's equally important. The education is the same.
A server used to do so much more. You know, they used to finish sauces. They used to carve tableside.
Yeah.
It was a demanding job. They were an extension of the kitchen. There was no
Yes.
like back house, front house. It was part of the same team. I'm a young restaurateur. I'm 40 years old. For me, it's a very, very special endeavor. And I don't want to lose a sense of tradition and history and foundation, right? And that's why I love so much, and I'm so honored that Joe is part of my team, because he brings that old world knowledge that is so lost.
Yeah.
And he's teaching it. The food is not enough. It needs to be the wine knowledge, the education, the theater around the service.
You know how to make a pressed duck, you know,
Yes.
like all of that.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
so impressive.
I mean, you should see him on New Year's Eve, the way he pours champagne. He ties this thing, he does this thing. It's incredible.
The meal shared by the three of us was simple but powerful. It feels like old times. In a way, it was like eating with family I've never met before tonight. A beautiful moment. At the center of it, food.
You're coming to my house tomorrow.
Yes.
It's a new house. So we're gonna christen it together. We're gonna make a mess. And I
like it.
I couldn't think of a better guest to have in my kitchen the first night, you know? The guy who cooked at Babette's Feast.
I had a great night. It was such a pleasure being in the kitchen with you.
Oh my God,
and
such a pleasure
I can't
to have
wait
you.
until tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
A fitting close to a long and satisfying day.
We're gonna have a good night's sleep tonight after this Sancerre.
Mackerel, my favorite.
I know. That's why I brought it.
Today I've been invited to partake in the first family dinner at Ben's new home. I arrive at the mid-century modern a little early to help out if I can, and there's plenty of prep to do.
Pizza is a big thing for the kids. I never do fancy food at home, you know. It's usually one pot meals.
When you peel these off the wine, you're supposed to whistle,
Why is that?
so you don't eat them.
Oh, yeah. Believe me, half of them are gone by the time I get home.
I can tell you, just looking at the food, I'll fit right into this family. No problem.
A little bit of Israel, a little bit of Italy, a little bit of homage to you. You know, I couldn't resist by bringing the egg salad yet again.
Okay.
A white fish salad. Mom made a cheese dip. What's in it, Mama?
Dry tomato,
Sun-dried tomatoes.
yes, some dry tomato, cheese who I made. I left the yugo for 2-3 days and make a cheese.
Throughout his childhood, Ben's mother worked as a chef, and hearing her talk, it's obvious she has had a great influence on his cooking style. So much so, in fact, that Ben's other restaurant, The Benevolent King, has a menu comprised completely of her recipes.
It's like art.
I told you yesterday, I am fulfilling my mom's dreams for me, but also for herself.
I have to remember to have salad with me.
She never got to own her own restaurant like that, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday. La Fête de Babette, the fact that it's a female chef, and when my mother cooked at the height of their career in the 80s and early 90s, women were not respected as much as men, and that really hurt my mom's career.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of my ambition, a lot of what I do because of my mother. I wanted to prove to the world that she's the best, and I'm fulfilling her dream. You know, she never got to do what I do. She never got to own restaurants and several restaurants and get James Beard nominations and all that stuff. She's never had the opportunity to do it. Nobody gave her time of day.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't call her chef, they called her cook. I loved in that movie that it's a female chef and she gets to cook, she gets to be the star, and it really made an imprint on me.
Did you teach him how to cook?
Yeah.
Now he teach me.
Now he teaches you. How awesome is that?
My mom was a culinary educator for an organization, a women organization, maybe for 40 years.
In this place, it was many people from all the world. You know, it's a Jewish people, Yemeni, Russia, and I taught him cooking from what we have in Israel. But they taught me the cooking, the Jewish cooking from all their country, like Russia, like Persia, Iran, like Morocco, France. This is the nice thing who I have, because all the Jewish people have the same tradition, but everywhere had another things, you know. Another cooking.
So, you know, because of geographic distance, distance, Jews lived in different countries, and so they adopted a little bit of the cultures that they lived in, obviously. So if you're in Iraq, you would do something that resembles Iraqi cuisine. If you're in Tunisia, you do something that resembles Tunisian cuisine. If you're in Poland, you do something that resembles Poland. But the concept is the same. And so there's all these really, really unique things, you know, and cool things. You have a lot of similarities between, but done completely differently, right?
Is that tray of fish ever going to make it over here to me, you think?
Oh my God. Is it gonna make it to you? You just need to get in there.
Isn't that interesting? We're sitting here sharing something like this that is Jewish or Israeli.
Or Danish.
Or Danish, yeah, I mean...
or German.
Yeah, I mean, all these flavors is, to me, that's home.
That was the idea, to make you feel at home.
There is no meal as nourishing as one that comes with good conversation and laughter. The warm welcome from Ben and his family leaves me feeling full. It's more evidence to support my belief. Share a good meal with an open mind. We'll find that we are more alike than we are different. Elevating humble food at his restaurants Elia, Olio, and Nixta, Ben has attracted other people and businesses into the fold.
I do a lot of that. Humble against very, very luxurious.
Like a fractal view of the neighborhood itself, my time with Ben has been an experience that brought new life to what I thought was old and forgotten ways. The polished shoes, the pressed jacket, the simple things, the style and discipline, and a frame of mind that was the standard I grew up with as a young chef. To be called avant-garde is to say, as an artist, you embrace new ideas or a new approach. But to be avant-garde as a chef is to know, as an artist, you can create your life experience through your art, and you can change the community around you. What Ben has done here is exactly that.
I really wanted to uplift the community, and I thought that food and restaurants do that. I think that this corner, and again, I'm not ashamed to say this anymore, is the most exciting culinary corner in the city of St. Louis, because you have so many choices and you have so many incredible choices.
He's created a new experience for a once forgotten corner of the loop, and he did it with his art form, food. Always remember to use your mother of pearl spoon. Egg salad, caviar, and a little love. This goes really well together. In the words of Babette herself, an artist is never poor.